Well, hello, beautiful, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. You are here with Karima McGee. I am so grateful that you're here watching this video. Thank you so much for swinging by. Hey, if this is your first time ever watching any one of my videos, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart because guess what? We're now on month 4 of my YouTube channel, and we're now up to 95 subscribers, and I don't take any one of those lightly. If you are a tribe member, I want to say thank you so much. Whether or not you shared it, put it on your Facebook, you asked somebody else to join. We really are at 95 subscribers, and I know it might seem a little small team to somebody else, but that means a lot for me because that means that we have a tribe strong of 95. So I appreciate each and every one of you guys. So this last 4 months, it has been a hell of a ride, but I know we are just getting started. So let me just go ahead and say thank you. Just like thank you for real. I appreciate it. I haven't even gotten to my alternative medicine and natural health stuff yet because of COVID. So for now, we'll just be going off of the stuff that's in my books and just topics that we can pull from that we can learn until we're able to start doing some herbs. By the way, I have herbs around me right now. But I want to talk about something different today. Today is a very, very sensitive topic. So first, let me just say this to my sisters who are watching this video. I need you to do me a favor, okay? If you are watching this video with your sweetheart, I need you to take a step back, okay? This video is strictly for you. And brothers, if you come across this video and you're watching it, I'm going to apologize in advance. This content is strictly for the ladies because what we're trying to do here is we're trying to build healthy women who know that they are whole. And so we are working through some of the things that we got to work through. So if you come across this video, please don't take offense to any of the information that you find within it. Like I said, it is designed to help women evolve, and that's what I do. That's what I've been doing for 20 years. Ain't no stopping no time soon. So the information that we're going to be talking about today is called green eyes, and the reason why I call it is green eyes because if any of you guys remember Incredible Hulk, it's like back in the day, right, when he would get angry, he would get mad, he would turn completely green, right? And so that green eye that I'm talking about is not some guy with some sexy green eyes. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the guy with green eyes for jealousy, filled with jealousy for women. Whether or not he look at women and feel like he's inferior or they make him feel inferior because of their accomplishments. But this video is going to be sensitive because we're talking about masculinity and jealousy. And if you're watching this with your sweetheart, this is not the video to watch with your sweetheart. So what I want you to do is I want you to watch this video by yourself with your girlfriend, with your mom, your sister, your auntie, because there's somebody, your aunties probably went through it. You probably went through it. You know, I want you to kind of take the information, take what you can take, you know, take the takeaways on how you can deal with it. And then I want you to think about it, contemplate. And then if in fact it is something that you want to bring to the attention of your lover, I'll give you 3 ways to do that in a way that is going to be loving, affectionate, and is going to still honor your mate versus taking this information to him in a way that will tear him down or emasculate him or make him feel less of a man. So I got all that out of the way. 3 minutes in, you know we got to go ahead and do the intro. It's just the way it is. So go grab yourself some wine, grab yourself a snack, and then come on back and you and I will chat, okay? Go ahead, cue intro. I know y'all hear that. That is terrible. I'm so embarrassed, but there's nothing that I can do. I mean, I have some elderberry here. Well, you know what? Let me see if this elderberry capsule will hold me over. It's brand new too. Y'all, I'm so hungry. I'm sorry. It is like really, really loud. I'm sure the microphones are picking it up. But so let me take, I don't know if this is going to even work, but okay. So you call him up on the phone and you just didn't get the response you thought you were going to get. Maybe you thought he was going to be happy. He was going to say, congratulations, babe, I'm so excited for you. Oh my God, so what did you get? He didn't have the same level of excitement that you had. And you kind of wondered, and it kind of dampened your own spirits. And you were like, well, dang, that was like, I was so excited and he didn't give it back to me the way I gave it to him. What's up with that? If you ever felt that, right? I'm sure you registered that in your head somewhere. Either you felt some sort of way about it, you didn't quite understand it, but you did register it, I'm sure. Because there's something about accomplishing something and sharing it with someone you love, and they're not giving it back to you the way you gave it. There's a feeling for that. Absolutely, no doubt about you felt something from that. Have you ever been in a position where, let's say, for example, you graduated from college and maybe there was a guy that you were dating and perhaps he didn't, and he tried to diminish your accomplishments as saying, well, I never wanted to go to college, so I didn't want all those student loans, so I didn't do that. But I mean, since you did, okay, good. Have you ever felt that before? Have you ever opened a business, okay, while you were with your mate? And maybe he didn't show up at the grand opening, or made an excuse on why he couldn't be there, or didn't support you the way you wanted him to support. Maybe you asked him to go pick up the balloon and the cakes, and he's like, oh no, unfortunately I can't do that. Can you get somebody else to do it because I'm going to be such and such place? Maybe he couldn't support you in the way that you would support him, and you just couldn't figure out why that was. Have you ever been in a situation where your dreams were coming true, man? Maybe you made the bestsellers list like you wanted to, and you told him, babe, I made bestsellers list, and he's looking at you like, oh, good, congratulations. But there was no sense of sincerity behind it. If you've been through any one of those circumstances, your next question might be, but why? Why would he not be happy? Why would he not be happy for me? This goes back to that Incredible Hulk thing, not that they are angry at you or mad, but the sense of jealousy is partly natural, and I'll tell you why. Okay. When we're talking about the masculine energy, we have to remember that men are designed, created to be builders. They build. Their desire to build their families, to build their legacies, to leave behind a legacy that they've already built, to build their finances in such a way that there's a sense of security within their families. They are completely motivated and driven by the fact that the masculine energy is pushing them to build. Okay, that's what they do. They're builders. Now, granted, there are some who are not so inclined to want to do those things, but for the most part, men are builders. So men are builders. And what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is, as far as the evolutionary process is concerned, okay, historically, the masculine energy, or the male, has been the one responsible for going out to get the kill, right? We say go out to get the bacon. You can call it that. But men are builders. They want to be able to build their families, their lives, their sense of existence is all tied into their ability to build. Their sense of identity, their sense of belonging, their sense of well-being is, and this is quite unfortunate to some extent, because most of all of their entire lives is connected to their ability to build and sustain. And the tough part for a lot of men is that sustain part. So they've gotten the thing built. They've been able to build it. They built the marriage, right? But are they able to sustain it? They've been able to build the business, but are they able to sustain it? They've been able to build the family, but are they able to sustain it? They've been able to build the finances, the money, the wealth, the cars, but are they willing to sustain it? So the masculine energy is constantly thinking about that, all of those things in all of those areas. How do I continue continuously sustain my family? How do I, I've built it. So they spend a lot of energy around building that thing, building it. And then it starts to switch into, how do I keep it this way? Now, a lot of the anxiety and the depression and the lack of self-esteem for a lot of men is tied into facts into where they feel as though they're failing in any one of those areas. Perhaps they're not building as fast as they want to build, or perhaps they're not building as fast as their other male counterparts in the same age bracket, and society puts a lot of pressure on men to build too. So they're constantly in this uphill battle of being able to prove that they can build and that what they built is worth something, whether it's worth something enough to attract a woman to want to build a family with, or whether what they build is enough to entice the kind of woman that they want. They're constantly trying to build or create a life, and we can all say that, well, women build too. Well, that's where we're about to get into. Okay, the masculine energy is completely tied to his ability to build and sustain. Imagine him like a farmer, okay? He's out and he is tending to the soil. He is, planting the seeds. He's tilling the soil. He's, all of the things required to have a healthy harvest is what he's doing day in and day out. Day in and day out, he's constantly doing that in the field, okay? And let's imagine that he's doing that in the field. He's building for every seed that he plants. He's building for every seed that he's planted. He's building, and he's constantly building and constantly building. And then this smart, beautiful, gorgeous woman out of nowhere shows up, and she has a harvest, a fully developed harvest of large watermelons the size of pineapples. I mean, just size of, I said pineapples, but just imagine she just has these large watermelons and cantaloupes and potatoes, and she's done tobacco and sunflowers, and she had a beautiful, healthy harvest, and she has so much to show for it, right? And then when he looks at his, he can't even compare it to what she has. Quite naturally, as a farmer, as a masculine energy, he is going to feel that, not just emotionally, but psychologically. He is going to feel that in those areas, and that's not going to always be a pretty thing to face. It's not going to always be a pretty thing to face when a farmer is building. So let's imagine you get a new promotion at work. You get a new promotion, and your first thing is, I can't wait to get home to tell my love. I can't wait to get home to tell him I got the job. I'm so excited. You're bubbling with excitement. You're so happy you got it. You've made this thing happen. You went after your dream, and you just cannot wait to get home to tell him what's been going on. Now, a lot of women are afraid to reserve their accomplishments, and they'll learn that in my book, that it's okay to hold some things to yourself. You don't have to tell everything. Some things you tell your girlfriends or your mom or your aunties. So some things you reserve for yourself. It kind of adds a little bit of mystery and mystique, right? But a lot of us are, we need you to know how far we've come and where we've come from and where we're going. So we just cannot wait to let you know all of the amount of stuff that we've been able to accomplish. And so we run home and we never once think, what is the state of my love? Is he in a state where he can receive this and give it back to me with the same amount of energy that I've given it? Or is he in a position where he's still in the field farming his own stuff and he won't be able to receive what I have? Because that's the truth. That's the truth of the masculine energy. It's not always the case that he's jealous of your accomplishment. It's just that he cannot receive what you're able to express, because he's still out in the farm. He's still tilling to the soil. He's still building. He's still planting seeds, and he has yet to have a harvest. And so that is a tough position for a man to be in. It's a tough position for him to be in, knowing that he's still building that thing, and that you, just by the thought of doing something, make it happen. By the thought, you thought about something last week and you did it, and boom, you got a harvest. There's something magical about women when they decide they want to do something, no matter how difficult or how tough. And this is what is causing a lot of trouble in our communities, is that a lot of Black women are accepting the fact that they can truly, really do anything that they put their mind to. And not only have they accepted it, but they've passed it on. And so women are seeing women win. And now there's a healthy competition amongst women, but men are on the outside looking. They're on the outside looking because they're the builders. They're watching women build, and they are the builders, thinking, well, what's left for me? What's left for me to do? I build. So now she's the builder. Okay, now what do I do with that? So there's a lot of men who have a lot of trouble with accepting that new role, especially if the woman is the builder in the household, and now he's relying on her harvest. It's a very difficult position. Now, granted, there are some men who are very well okay with not being a builder at all. They have no drive, no will, no determination to build. They are probably, are like, whew, sweat off my back. My girl got us. She's going to take care of us. Great, right? But then you have those very masculine men who want to build. They have the desire to do that. They are going to feel a way, not just emotionally, but they're going to feel that thing psychologically. It is going to play on them. And so if in fact you get a green eye stare back at your mate, please do not be alarmed. Number one. Number two, don't take it personal. He's working on his own stuff, trying to figure his own stuff out, if that's the kind of man you have, okay? And number three, consider when and how much information you share about your accomplishments. When men want to know, they ask. So, babe, how's everything going? By the way, did you go for that job? Oh, yes, babe, I did. I went for it. So did you have the interview? Yes, it went great. Well, you never told me about it. Let them be surprised. Share that information if they ask. But for the most part, when you are doing something great and fantastic and magnificent, and it's so great, always consider where your partner is emotionally. Where are they? Are they still working their plan and planning their work? Because if they are working their plan and planning their work, and you give them all of the greatness that you have done, it is going to be a very hard pill for them to swallow. The one thing I want women to learn how to do, and I had to learn this too, because I am goal oriented. So I collect things. When I say collect things, and a lot of African American women are like this too. We are collecting accomplishment and collecting things, and it's okay to collect those things without having to showcase them to your mate, especially if he is still farming. Now, granted, there are some men who want to share in your experience because their accomplishments are just as good as yours, and your accomplishments don't diminish them in any way, shape, or form. But you have to know the build of your mate. You have to understand what kind of man you are dealing with. If you are dealing with a man who is constantly in the field, and he's planting seeds, and he's planning his work, and he's working his plan, you have to be very, very careful about what it is that you are going to share, about how much, how far, and just how deep your accomplishments run, because they may not always be received with the kind of energy that you would want it to. Now, what I know to be true about women is that we feel a kind of way when we share something with someone and they don't give it back to us the way we gave it. It doesn't even have to be a boyfriend. It can be a mom. You can call your mom and say, Mom, guess what? I got the job. And she's like, oh, okay. You're going to feel a kind of way. You're like, well, what? That was weird. That was anticlimactic. What happened to the excitement? Women want to know that what they just did is great, right? They want to know that. And so we like to share a lot. We're emotional creatures. We like to get it out, let everybody know. But if we've learned to reserve some things for ourselves and learn that it adds to the mystery of who we are, I think that's a little bit more powerful than laying all of our cards out on the table. Now, if you lay all your cards out on the table and it's not received the way you want it to be received, then you have to understand the hand you just dealt, right? The other thing about that is my mother always taught me that every woman will get what her hands call for. Okay? What do I mean by that? Every woman will get what her hands call for. What your hands call for is speaking to getting back who you are. So every woman is going to either attract their lot. They're going to get their fair share. And I'm sure my mother didn't know that she was speaking about the law of compensation that says that everyone gets their fair share according to the output, according to what they give out. You're always going to get back your fair share. That's the law of compensation. And that's the same as you're going to get what your hands call for. As you are as a woman, and as you have always been, is going to be a reflection of all of the mates that you have been attracting up until this very point. And I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that. My very first boyfriend, I haven't had a lot of experience, but my very first boyfriend was he had a very giving heart. My first bedroom set, like of my real big bedroom set, was from him. When I think about a lot of the life-changing gifts that I had as a young, it started out very, very early on. And that led all the way up until today. I don't have to say, hey, do I need this? But my hands call for a mate who wants to show his level of adoration or his level of honor or his level of love. And so that's what my hands call for. So I get that, right? Every woman has that within her, and you can develop what your hands are calling for, but you have to be able to look at the cards you dealt and say, here's my hand. What's my hand calling for? All right. It's calling for men who are constantly jealous of me and my accomplishments, not okay with what I'm doing, not okay with, receiving who I am and what I've all done. You got to look at your hand and be honest with it. And then you have to decide, okay, how do I change this hand that I've dealt, okay, that I've been dealing throughout every relationship. And, you're going to get what your hands call for. You can decide that by who you are becoming daily. So first things first, number one, don't ever take the jealousy that your mate is giving you personally, okay? Number two, if you have some exciting news that you want to share it with your mom, your sisters, share it with the female first, because women are very, very, we're in touch. We're in our intuition, we're able to pick up on excitement a little bit more, and so we can kind of give you what you're getting back. So if you're looking for someone to be just as excited as you are, you have to, number one, be mindful of who you're sharing that information with. Are they in a position to receive the goodness that you have to give? Because some people, even if it is a woman, they might be going through their own stuff. They might be working in the field and they're not able to receive the good news that you have. So that's that thing. And then the third thing is to always consider where your partner is. Consider where he's at. Is he still building? Is he still developing? Is he still trying to make a name for himself? Is he still trying to pave a way? Is he still trying to carve out a lane? If a man hasn't carved out a lane for himself just yet, it's very easy for him to be intimidated by a woman who has already done that. And that's not a bad thing. That's just a masculine energy. They are builders and they want to build. And if a man is constantly trying to figure out, how am I going to build this thing? Or if he builds it and it fails, oh my gosh, that's another hit. So, if your man has just put all of his money into a business and it failed, and you come back and you say, babe, I'm opening up a store on Friday, please don't be surprised if you don't get back, the amount of energy that you put in, because it's a natural thing for the masculine to be jealous to see the opposite sex building because he wants to build for the opposite sex. If that makes sense, I hope you got that. When the opposite sex is building, there's two things that he's going to feel quite naturally. One, you're going to build yourself in such a way that he will no longer be the kind of guy that you would want. And so you're going to outgrow him. So that's a fear. Fear sets in. When you start expanding and evolving and growing past him, and you're building and accomplishing things, and he has yet to carve out his lane, he's going to first feel that fear. Why are you leaving me? The sense of abandonment sets in. She's leaving me. She's moving forward and I'm still back here. He's feeling a sense of abandonment, a sense of fear that he's being left behind, even if it's not true. Even if you don't plan on going in. What exactly are they building for? Because they're essentially building so that they can build to create something for their families and for, and so if you're building without them, then it kind of takes away a little bit of that sense of being, that sense of belonging. They are connected to their accomplishments, their money, and their ability to build and their ability to sustain. When a woman takes away the ability to sustain and their ability to build, when we remove that from them, we are removing a part of their identity, a part of who they are. Let's be aware of that and be conscious of it. The next time you're trying to share something with your sweetheart, consider where he might be in the scheme of things. Is he where he wants to be? And don't be offended when he doesn't give back to you what you anticipated. And also keep in mind, there are also some men out there who don't plan on building at all, who are perfectly fine with you building for them. But please know that that bed is one bed that you are going to have to lay in if you make it. If you make that bed and you become the builder, please understand you'll be building for the entirety of that relationship. And can resentment set in? Absolutely. Until next time, be empowered, be inspired, and be well. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.